Hey, it's Chris from the Mode Designs team, and today we're going to be talking about our 75% layout keyboard, the Mode Sonnet. I'm going to give you an overview of the board and guide you through our configurator to talk about some of the different options available. Here's a fun fact, did you know that there are over 500,000 possible configurations for the Mode Sonnet? And that's before even considering switches and keycaps. So you can customize this board to exactly how you want it to look, sound, and feel. Okay, so the Mode Sonnet is a 75% layout keyboard. What that means is it's basically all the keys you'd find on your standard laptop keyboard plus a handful more. The Sonnet features some gorgeous curves along the side that perfectly highlights that bottom case. On the top, we've got a precision milled cutout for any one of our many accent pieces that really elevates your workspace. Inside the board, we utilize a flexible mounting system that gives you the option to build your board in one of two ways: isolated top mount and stack mount. We talk a little bit more about the different mounting styles in our full-length Mode Sonnet build guide, which you can find linked in the description down below. So that's a little bit about the Mode Sonnet. Now let's jump into the configurator and see all the different ways you can choose to build your perfect Mode Sonnet. So once you navigate your way to modedesigns.com and head to the Sonnet configurator, you're greeted with a menu of options as well as a helpful rendering on the left side that shows you your build in real time. You can even toggle between a few different keycap sets. So let's begin with the top case. This is the piece that you'll see the most alongside the accent. All of our options are precision CNC'd milled anodized aluminum with the exception of white. To achieve a true white color, this top case goes through what is called an electrophoresis coating. This gives it a slightly different feel and allows it to get to a true white color. So I'm personally missing a lavender top case in my collection of keyboards, so let's choose that color for the top. Next, you'll choose the bottom case. If you click through to the second and third images, you can see renders of your build from a side profile and the bottom of the keyboard. Now here we currently have 8 different options. Similar to the top case, black, gray, and gold are all anodized aluminum, with white being electrophoresis coating once again. We also have 4 extra options: CNC milled and sandblasted polycarbonate, electroplated aluminum that gives a mirror-like finish, and sandblasted and clear-coated brass and copper bottoms. Polycarbonate is going to be the most lightweight material and typically will make your keyboard sound just a little bit deeper with less resonance due to the nature of the material. And because it is sandblasted, it gives this almost frosted glass-like look, so you can just see your internal weight in PCB through the bottom of the case. Electroplated aluminum, aka the silver mirror, is exactly what it sounds like. It's like a mirror. It's got a smooth, even finish that perfectly reflects your sexy mug back at you without any warping or distortions. And finally, our 2 premium metal options are sandblasted brass and copper. Both metals are going to add some significant and nice heft to your build, with copper weighing just a little bit more than brass. Because both metals are sandblasted and clear coated, they'll have a smooth matte look while retaining a gloss feel to protect those bottoms from developing patina over time. For this build, I'm going to choose polycarbonate so you can get a glimpse of that internal weight once the board is built. Now next up on the configurator is the accent piece, where we currently have a total of 10 different options. Once again, similar to the bottom case, black, gray, and gold are all anodized aluminum, with white being an electrophoresis coating. For the premium metal accents, we have brushed copper and brushed brass, both of which again have that clear coating to help protect it from developing patina over time. For the mirror options, we have silver mirror and rose gold mirror, giving you gorgeous reflective accents to choose from, all of which are made of stainless steel. And finally, we have multicolor, which is a PVD coated stainless steel option with this gorgeous gradient that shimmers under light. It has a super unique gradient running from shades of blue to purple from one end of the board to the other. I think for this build, I'm gonna go with multicolor. Next is the internal weight. For most builds, this piece won't be seen on the day-to-day, but it does modify both the overall weight of your build as well as slightly modifying the sound profile. Like the bottom cases, brass and copper are going to have the most weight to them. Both feature this precisely CNC'd wave pattern that just looks really cool in your board. Black is our default option, which is a nice smooth hunk of anodized aluminum. This will be the lightest weight option for your board. And finally, our last 2 options are brushed stainless steel and PVD coated stainless steel. To match my chosen accent piece, I think I'm going to go with the multicolor internal weight that will just poke through and show a little bit through that polycarbonate bottom case that we chose earlier. Now we've got to pick our plate. This is the piece that's going to influence a lot about how your keyboard both sounds and feels. Generally, softer materials result in a little bit of bounciness and can help reduce finger fatigue, while firmer materials provide a more responsive experience. We currently offer 7 different plate materials for the Mode Sonnet. In order from softest to firmest, we have palm, polycarbonate, FR4, carbon fiber, aluminum, copper, and brass. This is also the stage where you'll want to decide on your keyboard layout. Universal plates offer support for both ANSI and ISO layouts. ANSI is a standard used in the United States, while many European countries use ISO as the standard. We also have half plates which have a cutout for the alpha cluster, aka where your alphabet keys are. Half plates allow switches in the alphas to take advantage of the flex cuts in the PCB, which can result in a bouncier and softer typing experience. However, to use the half plates means you are also limited to using a solder PCB. Speaking of which, let's talk about the PCB. So you have two types of PCBs, solder and hot swap. The solder PCB offers more flexibility when it comes to your keyboard layout preferences, but will require you to know how to solder. Hot swap has more limited layouts, but allows you to easily pick and plug switches to change it up on the fly, almost like adult Lego. For this build, I'm going to go with a hot swap PCB and carbon fiber plate. Alright, we're almost done with choosing our Sonnet parts. Next up is the silicone base. This is an optional layer of silicone that sits between your PCB and the internal weight, and that can result in a more muted sound signature, helping to absorb some of the resonance within the keyboard chassis. This piece is also essential if you want to build your Sonnet in a stack mount configuration, but we'll come back to that in the full Sonnet build guide. I do recommend selecting one of these so that you at least have the option of trying the stack mount and seeing if you might like the addition of this piece and how it might alter your sound signature of your build. I'm going to go with the gray one to sort of blend in with the polycarbonate when looking at it from the bottom. Plate foam is another piece that I would similarly suggest to try it out anyway and see if you enjoy how your board might sound both with and without it. It's basically a slim piece of foam that sits between the plate and the PCB to further dampen the sound signature of your board and make it even a little more muted. And finally, for the last two components of our Sonnet build, you'll simply choose between black or gray case feet. In this case, I'm going to go with gray to stick to this lighter aesthetic. And plate caps, which are little silicone pieces that are inserted around the plate for our mounting system. These won't be seen once built, but again, I'm gonna go with gray. You will also need to purchase a set of stabilizers, switches, and keycaps to finish your keyboard, all of which are also available on the Mode store. And that's it. Each configurator gives you a build code that you can save and come back to if you decide to purchase at a later time or want to share your build with friends. So those are all the different components that collectively make up a Mode Sonnet. And on that inevitable mail day when all your parts arrive, you'll have a gorgeous brand new board that's going to elevate your workspace. To see how to build your new Sonnet, check out our build guide linked up here and in the description down below. For any technical questions, order help, or any other inquiries, feel free to join our Discord or email out the support team at support@modedesigns.com.